Following the insane success of 2015's Jurassic World, Universal did the most logical move, make a sequel. It was made in this era of the late 2010s, where every studio was feeling the need to deconstruct and subvert their franchises. Deconstructing characters, storylines, and conventions, and replacing them with stupid plots and characters who were written by people who had no respect for the source material that came beforehand. This aggravated the fan bases who the studios tried to blame for the failure of these movies, instead of admitting their own personal failures. While I can't say that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was a film that was plagued by identity politics like some of the other movies from this era were, I can definitely say that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was a movie whose plot I find so gross and unappealing, in a way in which I struggle to imagine anyone who likes these movies enjoying. I hate Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Let me explain. Hi all, I'm the Grinning Critic and I love talking about movies with a grin. Unfortunately today though, I cannot talk about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom with a grin on my face, as this movie is awful. As I'm sure many of you know, I strongly detest 2015's Jurassic World. I view that film as a lazy corporate blockbuster devoid of a personality or logic. So I didn't exactly have high expectations for Fallen Kingdom going in. But I must be honest with myself, I thought there was a solid chance that this movie would end up being better than its predecessor. After all, from the surface, this movie could have been an absolutely amazing film. The whole premise of a volcanic eruption threatening the existence of the dinosaur species is a very fascinating idea. But we got the worst possible version of that story, going in directions I'm purely stunned that any studio would permit for the filmmakers to take. Right off the bat, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is just a really unpleasant, stupid movie. I mean, think about it. We learned that the island that the Jurassic World theme park was built on had an active volcano that somehow nobody noticed. Why? Because the script needs this to happen? The volcano threatens to wipe out the existence of dinosaurs, and this leads to the humans having an ethical debate as to whether they should try and save or just let the dinosaur species die off, as it was wrong to bring them back in the first place. And they come to the conclusion that the humans should just let the dinosaurs die. However, as the volcano is exploding, a group of mercenaries take a few dinosaurs from the site, who they then torture and then try and sell off at a private auction. This is such a gross, uncomfortable idea. The whole appeal of this franchise is seeing dinosaurs brought back to life in a modern world, and how cool that would be. So watching a movie about dinosaurs being mistreated and sold off at an auction puts a really yuck taste in my mouth. I don't understand how anyone could have greenlit such an unbearable script. The characters in this movie are just utterly stupid people. Bryce Dallas Howard's Claire returns, except this time she is made to be a woman who is trying to save the dinosaur species. After literally seeing them attack and kill people in the park and profiting off of their existence, she's written to have a love relationship with Chris Pratt's Owen, which you cannot buy into for a second. Speaking of Chris Pratt, I feel really bad for him. He's clearly a nice guy in real life, and he's great at playing the goofy male action hero, and that really works in something like Guardians of the Galaxy, a trilogy which goes for a more lighthearted tone. So Chris Pratt's goofiness doesn't really fit into this movie's story. Also, there's this young girl in this movie who we learn is a human clone of her mother made to satisfy her grandfather, which is such a weird, creepy concept, yet it's only revealed in the last few minutes of the movie, and it was done so she could free the dinosaurs, saying if she exists, then why shouldn't they? And now they're just roaming the planet. I mean, just think about just how stupid of an idea that was. A bunch of dinosaurs who killed people and caused massive infrastructural damage are now freely roaming the planet. I know this was done to just set up Jurassic World Dominion, but you expect us to believe that 40 to 50 dinosaurs can spread across the entire planet and repopulate it in just a few years. Why couldn't these dinosaurs be taken to some private island where they could have some peace? But what really annoyed me about this movie was the tone that this film went for. I've always wanted the Jurassic franchise to explore its horror aspects more, and this movie goes for a darker tone. While there are a couple of very brief glimmers of this sprinkled into the movie, by and large the horror elements of this film are largely misused, where the horror is instead as a means to disturb and shock the viewer, exploring these gross concepts about dinosaurs being exploited. For all the movie's faults, I will acknowledge that it does some right. Its artistic composure is very strong, the colours and lighting are vibrant, and despite not working with strong material, it's evident that director J.A. Bayona does what he can to bring some life into this picture. He is able to make some explosion sequences thrilling and riveting, as well as being a master in shot composition, capable of framing beautiful sequences. namely an underwater sequence involving a circular pod. The dinosaur designs are an upgrade from this movie's predecessor, where they are more visually detailed and convincing as creatures for you to take them as genuine threats. But for all these issues I have with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the biggest issue I have with this film is that I could never imagine the Jurassic Park theme play once in this movie's world. I'm gonna give Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom a D+. While it may be scary how out of touch the people who made this movie were with the fans, what is arguably scarier is that this movie had a production budget of up to $465 million, making it the second most expensive movie ever made. The fact that with that much money and resources, nobody stepped in and just let this movie be made the way it was terrifies me. You know, I do have a confession to admit. Many of you guys know that I was a very harsh critic of Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom has given me a new appreciation for that movie, and I like it ever so slightly more. At the very least, that movie was self-aware enough to know it was just superficial entertainment. It knew it was a Jurassic movie, and it knew the basic things it needed to do to keep many fans satisfied at several moments. This movie, however, had no clue what it was. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm the Grinning Critic, and don't forget to subscribe to me. It'll make me grin again, that's for sure.